The evidence is clear in Suffolk County regarding the discriminatory treatment of racial minorities who are considered a federally protected class throughout every segment of the criminal law system. Although Massachusetts currently has one of the lowest jail prison population rates per capita in the country, the disparities seen in the system itself are unfathomable. According to the Massachusetts Sentencing Commission analysis of 2014, the Commonwealth significantly outpaced national race and ethnic disparity rates in incarceration, imprisoning black people at the rate of 7.9 times that of white people and Latino people at 4.9 times that of white people. By comparisons, according to the Sentencing Commission's analysis, the national average rate of imprisonment for black people was 5.8 that of white people. In 2016, a report from the Sentencing Project compared racial and ethnic disparities in incarceration rates across all 50 states and ranked Massachusetts the highest in disparities for Latino people and the 13th highest for black people. Suffolk County represents the face of the Commonwealth in regards to these disparities, being that its black and brown residents are being surveilled, interrogated, stripped, frisked, searched, arrested, overcharged, given incompetent representation, are held in pretrial detention longer, are pleading out, are having their cases tried in front of juries who are not considered of their racial or ethnic makeup, are being found guilty, are being over-sentenced, and experience denials of their post-conviction avenues at a rate which is in stark contrast than their white counterparts. Quote, equality under the law shall not be denied or abridged because of sex, race, color, creed, or national origin. Unquote. The Massachusetts Constitution, Declaration of Rights, Article 1. Far too many observers have recognized the data noted above, from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Judicial Court, members of our federal and state legislative branch, and countless other public officials. Although the SJC has an inherent authority to create and appoint various committees and commissions to address the systemic inequities normalized in Suffolk County, these mechanisms have fell short in curtailing structural failings evident in its desperate outcomes. The desperate treatment evident throughout every phase of the criminal law system in Suffolk County is a viable civil rights issue, being that the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment prohibits what's been seen in Suffolk County for the last few decades. There appears to be an indifference in Suffolk County around this issue, and as a result, countless tainted convictions have been exposed for the first time in decades. It was mentioned in 1994 by Chief Justice Paul Liokos that when a black person walks into a courthouse in Massachusetts, the likelihood is that they are not going to get equal justice, unquote. Now, 30 years later, could it be said with confidence that we are witnessing a post-racial criminal law system in Suffolk County? If not, then what obligation does the Attorney General and or her Civil Rights Division have to ensure that Suffolk County no longer continues to operate without consideration of its Massachusetts Declaration of Rights and Equal Protection Clause? We are now formally demanding that the Attorney General direct the Civil Rights Division under Mass General Laws 1211H to investigate not only what has created the racial disparity seen at every level in Suffolk County, from surveillance to post-conviction redress, but to issue a report to its residents as to why the inequities have been sustained after decades of light being shown on the problem. We are also determined to learn whether the apparent discrimination was fashioned with a discriminatory intent. Lastly, we are desirous of learning who is liable for the continued indifference shown to members of a federally protected class in Suffolk County that are routinely being deprived of equal protection under the law, and what, if any, solutions have they concluded that can help bring greater accountability to any member of the police and prosecution whose actions contributed to a wrongful conviction. In closing, we leave you with a quote from Neil L. Lynch, who overseen the Supreme Judicial Court's commission to study racial and ethnic bias in the courts in 1994, where he concluded almost 30 years ago, quote, "I regret to report that it is the perception of many lawyers, community members, judges, and focus groups that disparate treatment towards racial and ethnic minorities exists within the courts of the Commonwealth. Our research corroborates this perception," unquote. The Harriet Tubman Project. Peace.